everybody, here we go. We're gonna get started.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. It's up.
Good morning, community. How are you today? We are incredibly fortunate to have been selected as for the amateur radio for the International Space Station, or AIRS Contact. Only 4 schools nationwide were chosen for the Winter Spring 2026, and Conn Magnet Elementary School of Entrepreneurial Design is the only public school and the only elementary school selected across the United States. Our contact experience has been uniquely special. Due to a Crew 11 medical evacuation and our recent weather conditions, the scheduled contact was almost delayed. While 3 schools were originally in contact this week, we are now the only school moving forward with contact at this time. Currently, 3 astronauts are on board the space station, including American astronaut Chris Williams. Astronaut Williams is also a licensed amateur radio operator, and today marks his very first radio contact from the International Space Station, making this moment even more extraordinary. At this time, I would like to warmly welcome our guests, both those joining us in person and those who shared their video messages, starting with Dr. Taylor, Superintendent of Wake County Public School System, Marcia, an astronaut educator, Jim, our Space Ambassador, our AIRS team, Ms. Peckham, Central Area Superintendent for Wake County Public Schools, Dalton and Colin from the North Carolina State University Amateur Radio Station, our students asking questions and their families, and of course, our amateur radio experts who set up all of this equipment to help make this possible. A huge thank you goes out to our staff, students, and families, and community partners for hundreds of hours of collective work that have made today a moment we will always remember. Now let's begin our program as we count down. But first, a message from our Superintendent, Dr. Taylor, who I'm honored to bring to the stage next.
Testing, there we go. You got to hold on to the mic. So good morning to you guys. I'm so glad to be here this morning. I know that in November you were visited by Major General Charles L. Bolton, a former astronaut and leader in NASA. And he spoke to you about his journey and his career and the power of never giving up. So I hope you guys had a great time talking with him. And I hope you took those lessons to heart and carry his advice with you as you study to become our future leaders. We know that's where you're going to be. So in just a few minutes, you'll get an opportunity to speak with an actively working astronaut who is proof that your hard work and dedication can pay off. And I do want to thank give my gratitude to the AIRS team for making today possible and giving our students a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So know that your dedication to your craft has created a moment that will live with these students their whole lives. So in a moment we're going to prepare to be in the contact window, and I'll finish by telling our students that this event is a perfect example, students. You hear this. This is a perfect example of how far imagination, science, and education can take us. So I want you to enjoy every second of this time. Now I'm going to stop talking for a minute because our state superintendent, Mo Green, came up, and I'll ask him to come up for just a moment. I'm going to yield some of my time so he can address us. We are grateful that he's here with us. Please give him a round of applause.
Thank you, Dr. Taylor. And good morning to everyone. It is so much my honor to be here this morning for what is really a life-changing opportunity. I am so excited to be here to listen to our students, talk with an astronaut. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time this morning doing my typical thing of talking, because really the astronaut, and our students and educators, y'all are the stars today. I'm looking forward to witnessing this amazing, amazing event. Thank you very much.
Raleigh, I'm over it. Okay, let me start again. Just showing the orbit of this ISS. So right here is where they are now, and it's going to come up towards Central America and to the white circle is the ground footprint. So when the white circle gets to Raleigh, we'll be able to talk to them. And as they go by, as long as we're in the white circle, we can hear them. And when this part goes up, Boston. So here is the acquisition of signal, and this over here is the Boston signal. So we got a few minutes to go before this gets up to here. So I think it's 10 after 10 to be in the area.
Perfect, and that is a great segue as we take a look at the slides of Chris Williams. Astronaut Chris Williams is on the International Space Station. We can go to the next one, and we are going to be seeing our Conn Magnet community. Not everyone's able to be here, but we are thankful for everybody who is. Knowing people are watching at home as we have our 2-hour delay here in Wake County Public School System. We can go to the next one, the next one. We can keep going where we're talking about, yep, next one is, the next one. Here we go, we're talking about that. Is there one behind that? The acquisition, that happens at 10:10, and I think 38 seconds. That's when the horizon, the International Space Station, is going to rise up. We can see the antennas are aiming towards that, and it's going to track it as it goes through the path. And then at 10:15 and 38 seconds, that's where we're about halfway done with asking our questions of astronaut Chris Williams. And then the next one should be at 10:20 and 42 seconds precisely. We will have loss of signal, and that is where the International Space Station is going to be ducking down below the horizon. So we have about 10 minutes as we're making our direct radio contact with the International Space Station. The next one, perfect, and those are the 3 astronauts we heard about who are on the International Space Station right now, and we're going to be speaking with astronaut Chris Williams. We're going to keep going, we're going to go by that Eris link. And while we're waiting, we do want to give another shout out to NC State who's here. We're looking to do some really fun things in the spring and continue our work next year. We're going to be looking to communicate and bounce off radio waves from the moon and all sorts of fun, exciting things. Let's see if we can get to the slide deck. That's perfect. We can go to the next one too. Thank you, Marcia. So we had a few space days. We're going to go through this quickly because we're approaching our direct contact in about 15 minutes, 12 minutes. We had Space Day back in October. All of our students had an opportunity, and we just kind of go through the slide deck. We had an opportunity to generate questions. We had students had an opportunity to generate a logo for a t-shirt that all of our students who are asking questions of astronaut Chris Williams today. We also had all of our students design a logo for a keychain. They're not ready yet, but let me tell you, they are pretty amazing. We're using our Glowforge for each grade level, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And we're gonna show you what they're gonna look like up on the screen. We're gonna keep going. There's the shirt again. Here we go. Those are all 6, but this is gonna be for kindergarten. We're just gonna go through, so woo, let's give a shout out to kindergarten. And 1st grade, there it is. 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, and then 5th grade. Nice job, everyone. Our PTA has helped fund our Glowforge that we are that we are executing. Each of one of these. Excited about that. Stay tuned for being able to receive those. It'll probably be another week for them to be completed. And keep going. Again, we had, if we go back one if we can, we were so excited with our community partnership with some of our family staff. Charlie Bolden, astronaut, pilot, commander, NASA administrator, be on campus back in November speaking with our students. And then also, Charlie Bolden was on a Google Meet with our 5th graders, asking questions. It was absolutely fantastic. And again, it's because of our partnerships through our families and through our community that so many opportunities occur at Conn Magnet Elementary School of Entrepreneurial Design. And we're so happy about that. We can keep going. Please, there we go. Keep going. We had another Space Day too. That was in December. Kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd grade students. They were just designing different aliens based on different characteristics of how we can communicate with them. And then our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students, they were designing a new space station. We all know that the International Space Station in 2030 is going to start to deorbit, and it's going to be burning up on entry to our Earth's atmosphere, and whatever does not burn up will be landing at Point Nemo in the Pacific Ocean. So we were coming up with different designs for what that space monitoring location might look like. We keep going. We have some students who sang a song, or created a song, some 3rd graders with Coach Lyons. We're going to record that when we are back in school, and then we'll be able to show that. We can keep going through the slides as we wrap up. We're going to give them, yep, keep going. There's Charlie Golden. You keep going. We can toggle through these. And actually, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to bring on Jim, our space ambassador, who's going to share out some information. So here you come, Jim.
Because we're running just a couple minutes behind, and the space station doesn't wait because it is falling around the Earth and there's nothing going to stop it. So I'm going to skip the video that we have here, but Chris Williams didn't get to the ISS by chance. His journey blended physics, medical science, research, and real-world service. He earned a physics degree at Stanford and a PhD in physics from MIT, where he studied the early universe. Before joining NASA, he worked as a board-certified medical physicist, using advanced imaging and radiation techniques to help improve cancer treatment. Along the way, he also volunteered on ambulances and as a firefighter, showing commitment to learning and helping others. In space, he serves as a flight engineer, supporting scientific investigations and station operations that help us understand both space and life on Earth. His path shows how building different kinds of skills and applying them in new contexts can open doors to opportunities most people only dream about, including the chance you're about to seize by talking directly to him today. All right, let's look at the picture of the space station slide. Do we have that one handy? All right, skip that. Yep. So the arrow, go back to that one. The arrow is in the wrong place now. I don't know why. It's that top left module, that little thing where he is on the International Space Station. Now that space station is about as big as a football field. Okay? And when you go outside, you can go to the website, spot the station, and you can go see it at night when it's right after sunset. You can watch it fly over the sky at the right time. Because I mean, this call is hard because it has to be timed and the questions have to be available and all this other stuff. But you can see it because it's as big as a football field and it's flying overhead and it reflects sunlight when it's going at dusk. And then he's up in that top left corner there. Next page. This is that module up close. You can see it's the European Space Agency module there. Next page. And this is what it looks like inside on the next slide. So this is not Chris Williams. This is astronaut Tim Peake. I don't have a picture of Chris Williams talking on the radio because this is the first time he's going to do it. Yay! All right, the radio's there on the right. You can see it's hooked up to the antenna with that little white cord. And the antenna is on the outside of that module that you saw. So that's how the antenna from there sends a signal to the antenna on the roof here. That's it. It is that direct. So that's the end of mine. I think it's John's turn.
Test 1, 2, 3. Good morning, guys. Just want to let y'all know how the contact is going to go down. So right before 10:10, I will start calling to the space station. The space station call sign is NA1SS. I might say it phonetically, which is November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra. And we're going to be using the call sign Kilo 4 Echo Bravo, K4EB. So we'll say NA1SS, NA1SS, this is K4EB. And we'll just say that a few times, and then eventually they'll respond, and then we will turn it over to the students to ask their questions. I want to thank a bunch of people. I had a long sort of thing I was going to say, but we're kind of running low on time. So I just want to thank Jim Scarborough, K4ROH. He had this idea in 2018. We were colleagues at Red Hat, and he had a student at Moore Square back in middle school. We got involved with the school. Josh Hunter was a science teacher at the time, and he wrote up a really great application, and we got it, and it was great. Yeah, but we weren't able to do another direct contact because this equipment, we got it from Mark Hammond in AMH right here, and he was putting it up on his university, Campbell University. And once he put it up on the roof there, we didn't have equipment at the ready to do contacts. So we've done, Wake County Schools has done several telebridge contacts, which is basically use a telephone to connect to a remote radio station, like in Baltimore, for example. And so Wake County has done a few of those telebridge contacts, but Josh Hunter, everybody has wanted to do another direct contact. We were finally able to get together a grant to buy all this equipment. Carl Davis and Brantley West, W8WZ and K4CBW were instrumental in that. Many people have been really instrumental in this. Let me see if I can go through some other folks. I want to thank Mike right next to me, K3LOE. He's running audio, obviously, and he's done some demos with the students. Let's see, Tom N4TL, Tom Lewis N4TL is taking pictures, and he just explained the ground track over there. Devin Hedge, KN4FEH, is running our live stream. He's behind the TV. John Hollowell, K4JH, he loaned us a security camera, which allows us to view the antennas as they move. I don't know if it's working. Brantley's over there working on it. We had a problem with the network cable is too loose. Let's see, Daniel Lonedew, KD4UNX, provided an Ethernet cable for that. And let's see, I also want to thank Eaton Corporation, provided a UPS. This UPS right here, they donated to us. So thank you to Eaton and Mike DeCamp and Casey Burkhart out of their Raleigh office. And thanks to Jermaine McGill, who is providing the speakers we're using. Yeah, Josh Hunter is going to be holding the microphone with the students. And thanks to Carl Oriola, sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right, but thanks for all the AV stuff. And of course, Dan Gridley has been the kind of glue this, held all this together, just really I feel like he's been like a chicken running around without his head out, just coordinating everything. Eris has so many requests from the school side. He's done all that. So thank you so much. Big shout out to my parents who are here from Wilmington, Jim Breyer and Camilla Hurley. My dad, his call sign is KG4ACX. He taught me electronics starting as young as when I was as young as y'all. And he taught me how to fly model airplanes, race RC cars. And when I was a teenager, we got into ham radio. So if it wasn't for him, I might not be doing this. So thanks, Dad. All right, that's all I've got.
All right, for everybody who is in person and then watching online, again, thank you very much for being here. We are going to have our 12 students start to get lined up for our queue, and you did hear John say that we're going to start trying to connect with the International Space Station. So this will all take 30 seconds. We can kind of stretch out, wiggle it out for all of our students who are here. Okay, I think we're ready. It didn't take as long as I thought. So we're going to have our 12 students come up. We have Robin and Elijah from kindergarten, Madison and Kyle from first grade, Lyra and West from second grade, Kobe and Marina from third grade, Maddie and Max from fourth grade, and then Hattie and I from fifth grade. So now we can applause. Okay, so we still have about 3 minutes until the International Space Station. You can see that big circle now we can actually apply some of our learning that we had earlier today. You can see the International Space Station is is off the coast, the west coast of South America. It's going to be going right around Honduras. And when the ISS gets to Honduras, this circle is when it's going to be above the horizon, and we'll be able to start making our contact. So as you can see, every 5 seconds or so, inches along, and we're getting ever so close. Maybe we can. Devin is on the TV that's broadcast. Is it the ISS? Is the ISS being broadcast on the? Oh, it's on. Yep, we're gonna do it. So we will ask the students. Miss Oriola will start having the students line up. All the students stand up. Robin, we're gonna start right. Mr. Hunter, Josh Hunter. I have your questions, so we don't get any of your questions. I'll take them. What's going to happen, students? If you're going to come to me, I have your question, you're going to read it. Remember, we need to ask our question and then say over when we're finished, and that's when astronaut Chris Williams knows you're finished, and then he's going to reply. After astronaut Chris Williams is replying, we're going to have our next question go. We're going to have Miss Thompson and Miss Schlosser. They're going to guide you to get back in line to ask your next question. And we're ready, right? We've done this a few times. I think we're ready. Okay, we're still about 2 minutes away from our opportunity with our International Space Station. So let's think about some of our fun facts about the International Space Station. It is moving at 17,500 miles an hour. Very, very fast. There are 16, that's the equivalent of 16 days in a 24-hour time span, because every 90 minutes, the International Space Station is going around. We all know it's microgravity on the International Space Station. So Chris is going to be kind of tethered in when he's communicating with us. We're not going to see him, but we're going to be able to hear him. And again, we're going to be sending those radio waves up to the International Space Station. He's going to receive them, and he's going to send them back down to us. So again, we won't see him, but we'll be able to hear him. A reminder, there were supposed to be 7 astronauts on the International Space Station right now, but now there's only 3 because of the Crew 11 needing to have their medical evacuation. So there's still only 3 astronauts for a few more weeks. And then there's going to be another crew, Crew 12, that heads up to the International Space Station. Like we heard Mr. Wahala earlier, we are very, very lucky because of that medical evacuation. And then we all know because of the weather that our direct contact was almost not going to happen. But we are super excited that we are able to have it today, knowing it's not how we necessarily planned with our 650 students and staff and in the building, but we're glad to have as many as we can right now. And then we have all of you who are viewing at home around the United States and the world, and again, most specifically with our Rocky community, our Conn Magnet community. And we must be getting closer and closer as we take a look. Maybe about 1 minute away.
November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra, November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra. This is Kilo 4 Echo Bravo. November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra, November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra. This is Kilo 4 Echo Bravo, calling for a scheduled contact. November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra, November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra. This is Kilo 4 Echo Bravo, calling for a scheduled contact. November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra, this is Kilo 4 Echo Bravo, calling for a scheduled contact. November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra, November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra, this is Kilo 4 Echo Bravo, calling for a scheduled contact. November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra, November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra. This is Kilo 4 Echo Bravo, calling for a scheduled contact. November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra, November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra. This is Kilo 4 Echo Bravo, calling for a scheduled contact.
Hi, Robin. Once we get back from space, I'm going to work either helping other astronauts on the space station by talking to them on the radio, or maybe by helping them design some of the new vehicles that are going to go help us get back to the moon. Over. Hi, Madison. When you're blasting off into space, it feels like you're really heavy, and all of these, you're getting pushed really hard back into your seat like an elephant sitting on your chest. And then once you get to zero gravity, I felt like I was upside down until I got used to it. Over. Hi, Lyra. Any trash you can generate, we put into a cargo vehicle that then goes and gets burned up in the Earth's atmosphere. Over. We have something I
space mid-Earth. Over. Hi, this is Marina. Have you ever seen a hurricane in space? Over. Hi, this is Max. Knowing space flight can be risky. Why did you choose to still be an astronaut? Over.
Hi, I'm Max. Space flight can be risky, but it's also a lot of fun and it's a great adventure and it's helping to make the world a better place. I'm really happy to be a part of it.
Hi, this is Ian. What is the hardest part of your life by being in space on the International Space Station? Over.
Hi, the hardest part about being in space is
Hi, this is Rob. What are your favorite views you've seen from space so far? Over.
Hi, Robin. The favorite view I've seen from space is the Earth. Some of the Earth is reality. You can see out the window sometimes. Over.
Hi, this is Madison. What advice do you have for students who loves to build, design, and dream about the future?
Thanks for the question, Madison. The thing I would say is to keep building, keep designing, and keep dreaming about the future. Because if you work really hard at it, really anything you want can come true. Over.
Hi, this is Lyra. We apply our ideas design cycle each day. How do you and the crew on the International Space Station discuss possible solutions to problems and then decide an action to take? Over.
That's a great question, Lyra. So up here, we like to talk to each other a lot. Whenever we have problems or challenges, we find by talking with each other and also talking with our people on the ground that help us in mission control, we can always come up with a good solution. Over.
Hi, this is Kobe. What does looking out into space look like when you're in the shadow of Earth? Over.
Hi, Kobe. Space, when you're in the shadow of the Earth, looks really dark, and you can see tons of stars. It's like being really far away from the lights in towns and cities. Over.
Hi, this is Maddie. If you could design a new space mission for kids to help with, what would it be? Over.
Hi, Maddie. I would try to make something where you could see a camera with a view of the Earth, because it's a really special view of our planet. It makes you really appreciate it. Over.
Hi, this is Hannah. What is something you saw in space that no photo or video could ever show? Over.
Hi, Hattie. I saw the northern lights last week outside the window of the space station, and I took some pictures of it, but the pictures can't capture how beautiful it was. I wish everybody had a chance to see it like that. Over.
Hi, this is Roger. How much water is used on an average day at the International Space Station? Over.
Hi, Elijah. I don't know the exact amount of water that we use on the International Space Station, but I do know that we recycle almost 99% of it. So all the water that we use and all the wastewater, we turn that back into drinking water for the next day. Over.
Hi, this is Kyle. Is there an age minimum to go to the International Space Station? Over.
Hi, Kyle. No, there's no age minimum. Most of the people who are astronauts are in their 30s or 40s or 50s. A little bit older, but there's no age minimum. Over.
That was the last question. Thank you very much, Mr. Williams. Thank you so much. 73 NA1SS K4EB.
K4EB, Kilo 4 Echo Bravo. It's a real pleasure to talk to you and the students today. Thank you so much. It has made my day. Over.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you. We really appreciate it. 73.
Thank you so much. Over.
73, take 4 EB.
All right, what a great experience. So first, I just want to start our closing by saying I cannot tell you how much my heart is beaming with pride. Let's give a round of applause to these amazing guys. I want to thank our community for coming together to making sure that this event still happened even with the 2-hour delay. I would like to get you again to extend a thank you to Dr. Taylor for coming out, to Mo Green, our state superintendent of public instruction for coming out, for our radio team for making this incredible event happen. This is the true spirit of Conn, making kids' dreams come alive, even when they might not fully realize what that dream is. That's what we do every day at this school. We are proud of it. Let's go make this a great day. Well done, y'all.